Hi, and welcome to a visit with some of the members of the Southern Rhode Island 4-H Dairy Club. This group works with dairy cattle as their main project area, and they have a strong interest in the dairy industry and in open agricultural spaces in the state of Rhode Island. The Rhode Island dairy industry, although smaller than it was 20 years ago, continues to be one of importance to not only the farmers and the towns they live in, but to the state of Rhode Island. These dairy farms are vital to our communities as they provide essential products for consumption and maintain beautiful open spaces. As an organization, one of our core beliefs is that valuable farmlands are to be preserved. Believe it or not, Rhode Island has some of the most beautiful dairy farms in New England. The Southern Rhode Island 4-H Dairy Club invites you to come with us on our video fact-finding educational tour about milk, dairy cattle, and dairy farms. Here's how the story goes. It all begins with a female calf, also known as a heifer calf, which will eventually produce the milk you dip your cookies into and pour over your cereal. The calf is raised for approximately 1.5 years before she is bred or impregnated to have a calf just after her second birthday. The female cow cannot give milk until she has given birth. It takes a lot of work on the farmer's part and a lot of growing on the calf's part before this takes place. Raising a calf is a project in itself. Baby calves need a lot of special care and attention. Their first drink is their mother's first milk. It is produced after calving and is called colostrum. Colostrum contains natural antibodies that protect the calf from many diseases and infections. After a couple of days of colostrum, the calf moves on to regular milk. Depending upon the farm and the farmer's preference, the calf may receive milk replacer or formula instead of whole milk, just like a human baby. Often, the calf's first few meals are from a large bottle. But the calf learns quickly to drink from a small bucket. By the time the calf is 3 months old, she is usually eating grain and hay and has been weaned from all milk and is drinking lots of clean, fresh water. A calf's diet is very complex. Depending upon the time of year, she may have pasture to graze on, haylage, or silage. She will have veterinarian checkups, injections to prevent disease, and will be monitored very carefully during this time of intense growth and change. At approximately 1.5 years old, a heifer will be bred. There are 2 methods to breed a cow. The first is called natural breeding. A bull is used at the time of the heifer's heat, resulting in a natural pregnancy. The second method is called artificial insemination. Most of today's breeding is done with artificial insemination, known in the dairy industry as AI. AI occurs when the semen is collected from bulls around the world and sold to farmers or AI companies in small straws. It is stored in tanks of liquid nitrogen until it is time to be used to breed a cow. AI gives the farmer the opportunity to select which bull will be used to sire or father the calf. A lot of thought goes into selecting a bull to breed with. The genetics of a family and improvements in each generation's genetic identity is a major consideration in selecting the sire of a new calf. A trained AI technician or the farmer will then inseminate the semen into the cow's uterus during her heat period. This is the 12 to 24-hour period of time when the cow is fertile and pregnancy can be achieved. The entire process of breeding a cow takes about 2 minutes. Once the cow is bred, she enters the gestation period, or time that she is pregnant. Like humans, a cow carries her baby approximately 9 months. Also like humans, a cow does not lactate or give milk until she has given birth. Most cows give birth every year and are thus milked about 10 months each year. They have 2 months off at the end of their pregnancy to relax and prepare for another turn in the birthing and lactation cycle. In any case, most cows give birth without difficulty and need only to be monitored by a farmer or vet during the process. Once the cow has calved, things happen very quickly. The cow will learn to clean off her baby calf, and within a half hour, the calf will be up and moving about. The calf will instinctively go to the mother's udder to get its first drink of colostrum. The cow's udder has 4 quarters, with a teat on each quarter from which milk is expressed. After a few hours, the calf and her mother are separated. The cow is ready to go into the milking herd, and the calf goes off to be carefully raised. Milking cows have special diets, which are high in protein, roughage, and include a lot of water. Most dairy farmers in Rhode Island milk twice a day, spacing the milkings by about 12 hours. However, there are some farms that milk 3 times a day. There are several different milking methods used on dairy farms. The oldest method, of course, is by hand. The teat is pulled and squeezed from the top to the bottom, bringing milk out of the teat. Done properly, this is not at all painful for the cow. With the Industrial Revolution, milking machines became the dairy farmer's best friend. On a milking machine, there are 4 cups that make up a claw. Each is attached to a teat. The machine works with a vacuum pump that creates an intermittent suction that gently expresses the milk from the cow's udder. Some machines are floor milking machines, where there is a large bucket that directly collects the cow's milk. The bucket is carried to the bulk milk tank and dumped after each cow is milked. Similar to this method is the transfer bucket station. Milk is dumped into a large transfer bucket, and from that a line is connected to the milk bulk tank. The milk travels through a line, saving the farmer a lot of work. Another method is a pipeline milking setup. The milk goes from the cow into a pipeline that travels around the barn and empties into the bulk milk tank. There is also the milking parlor setup. With this method, the cows come to a milking area. The farmer stands below the cows in a pit area, and the machines are put onto the cows. The milk goes into a glass holding jar. There are automatic machine removers and even computerized feeding. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes for a dairy cow to be milked. The amount of milk the cow gives depends upon the breed of dairy cow, the feed she gets, and where she is in her lactation cycle. The milk is stored in a bulk milk tank on the farm. The temperature is controlled in a tank and kept very cool. A large paddle inside the tank keeps the milk stirred and evenly cooled. All of this is done without the milk even being touched. Following many regulations and safeguards, all milking equipment is sanitized carefully after each milking. A transport tanker picks up the milk every day. The milk truck driver uses a special procedure to empty the milk from the bulk tank to the tanker. The milk is tested for cleanliness, weighed and transferred to the truck that will carry it to the dairy where it will be processed. This includes the pasteurization and homogenization of milk. After the milk is packaged at the plant, it is shipped to the store for you. Of course, there are many other great dairy products that come from milk. Cheeses, yogurts, and ice creams are just a few that you can enjoy. Dairy products provide calcium, high-quality protein, riboflavin, magnesium, phosphorus, niacin equivalents, vitamin B12, vitamin B6, vitamin A, and vitamin D. Now we have told you the story of milk, but before we go, we'd like to tell you about our 4-H dairy projects. Besides providing milk, our 4-H dairy projects provide us with hours of learning and fun. We learn about responsibility for caring for animals, and through our 4-H club, we learn how to work as a part of a team, exhibiting our animals with pride in each other. We show our cattle at local, regional, and national shows. A lot of hard work is done before we arrive at a cattle show. We train our animals to walk and lead slowly. They must learn how to move their feet in small steps and respond to the show person's touch on the halter. This takes many hours of practice with gentle handling. There are two types of classes we enter. The first is the breed class, where the animal's conformation is judged with the other animals of its age group. The second type of class is the fitting and showmanship class. The show person's ability to exhibit the animal to its fullest potential, the cleanliness of the animal, the clipping job, and the animal's general conditioning are heavily considered. The show person must be dressed in either white or khaki, and the animal must be under control at all times. Rhode Island farms and farmlands are very special. They represent a valuable piece of our past, present, and future. We cannot take them for granted. Once we build homes, highways, or industries on these lands, they are lost as farmlands forever. We cannot go back and reclaim the land as it was, or find the natural balance in nature that we have upset. We all need to preserve our farmlands and open spaces. We ask you to support agriculture in Rhode Island. We hope you enjoyed your visit with us. And remember, in drinking Rhode Island milk, you support agriculture in Rhode Island, you support the local dairy farmers, and you are giving your body the important nutrients it needs to be healthy.
You going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a Cambridgeshire forest, parsley, sage, rosemary, and tracing a sparrow on snow-crested brow, without no seams nor needle work the child of, then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to find me an acre of land, a sprinkling of sage, rosemary, and thyme, with silvery tears between the salt water and those dear strands and polishes of God. She'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to reap it